Hi everyone, my name is Zumebi Mirantimi. For those of you who are just seeing me, hurry for the very first time. Today I'm making a video to continue my story about how I ended up with Microchip in British Columbia, Canada. For days now I've not made any videos. It has not been easy though. It's been war. You know, I'm also making video of how I ended up with ICBC, British Columbia, ate my money. Connect with Pastor Bamidele, Pastor Shola Elizabeth Dare, Patience Obanye, Sylvester Obanye, Bush son of Why, my adjuster Christopher Tightcourt, and Blessing, whom I just found out that it was that both of them are dating. So they comfortably ate my money with his girlfriend. By the way, the same girlfriend whom's the mother and the stepfather and the father wanted to also murder Christopher Tightcourt so that he will not join them to eat that money. I wish I could show you my body for the scar I sustained for trying to to keep Christopher Tightcourt alive and safe. I wish I could show you the scar. It's inside my body. I don't want to expose my body. But anyway, I want to continue my story. After I came out from the camp in Montreal, I went to YMCA. From YMCA, they paid me some money, $600 and something. And I used it to buy ticket and travel down to BC. I barely had any other money left after paying for my ticket. And they told me that I was going to pay back unless I stay more days, as in, I don't travel the date I travel, I stay more days before I can be entitled to keep the money. But I traveled down to BC. Why? Because God told me to go to BC. I started dreaming about BC while I was still in the US. Actually, Canada generally while I was still in Nigeria. In the US, I found out BC. Then I came here, it was still BC. So I traveled down to BC. As soon as I got to BC, I went to Vancouver. I met with all the settlement workers, who finally got me a shelter to stay at 12040 Horseshoe Way in Richmond, British Columbia, Canada. As I'm talking to you, all the witches and wizards that I've been mentioning their name, they're busy injecting my hip so that I can sleep. Once I start dozing off, I'll open my eyes for people to see. So that you tell me who makes a video and sleep on top of the video. Yeah, it's witchcraft. Yeah, today I was busy remembering all the boasts they always boast for me with their witchcraft. Like Patience Obanye, one day she called me. She told me, say, in my place, we they fly for afternoon. I told her, say, I didn't answer more than that. And there's another lady we all used to attend there. We used to attend together in Pastor Bamidele and Pastor Shola Elizabeth Dare. Who, by the way, they don't joke with her. Her name is Adedonye Lowaji. And the daughter's name is Gaba. Olamide Gaba. I'm going to divert a little bit because I want to finish the story. Now, Adedonye was always strict with her daughter. She would seize phone from the girl, only allow her to use phone during holiday. She said she should read a book. I said, you can still leave her with the phone and tell her it's time to read, shut down that phone. Because that time there was COVID, people were not really going out, so she was working from the house. I said, you could still do that. She said, no. She had know how to parent. I shouldn't try to teach her. I said, okay. I said, because when you're too strict with your children, you cannot find out a lot of secret from them. But she refused still. Guess what happened? After I had the accident, all the accident I had, after the first one, then I had a second one. During the second one, I needed someone to take care of me. I didn't know I cannot really leave work. I told her, okay, instead of getting somebody from outside, can your daughter do it? So she will be paid, but your name will be there. She said, no problem. Because then the daughter is not yet up to the age to walk. So she said, no problem. And the daughter started coming. So one of the occasions, every time she comes, hurry, hurry, because some of the time it's for somebody to be around me. Because I fall easily, I fall backward. It's not they're telling me it's multiple sclerosis or whatever they're calling. I don't want to kill myself with any medical information they've been calling. But anyway, I didn't know your daughter will come. Afterwards, she's doing what she needed to do. The remaining hours, she'll be on the phone. Not her phone, with her tab. All this app they have, she will not call. She will say she's talking to her friend in Nigeria. Now, the friend happened to come from Delta State, which is also my state. Adedoyin, from the name, is Yoruba, the Yoruba-speaking area. I think they stayed in Lagos. But, this girl will call. I said, who? And one day I asked, who is that? He said, he's my friend's brother. I said, your friend's brother? She said, yes. She was excited to tell me. Do you know why? Because the guy did not only come from Delta State. He came from the same place where we speak the same dialect. Not the same town, not the same village, but we speak the same dialect. So she was so excited to tell me that he's her friend's brother. I said, what about your friend? Why are you talking with the brother? He said, oh, the friend is doing something. I called my friend, so my friend had to give the brother the phone. And that was not the first time when she came to my house that she's doing that. So I said, okay, can I see the person? And I took the phone, the tab. And I asked the guy, I said, what do you do for a living? He said that he's just graduated from school, blah, 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 blah. He wants to go to university, blah, blah, blah. I said, then what are you people chatting? Is she not your younger sister's friend? What will you be chatting with her? As I was scolding the boy, this girl ran from my back like this, stretched her hand and turned off the phone conversation. Because she does not want me to scold the boy. And this is who the mother said she should keep tab and not phone, because she's trying to be a strict mother. I don't tell anybody how to parent their children, because you can also finish talking and the child will still do what they need to do. But it's easier to monitor your child and see what they're doing when you are not too strict. That was all I was trying to say. But anyway, it's none of my business. But one thing that I know for sure is that if you see another person's child doing something that is wrong, that will destroy their life, and you keep quiet, God has a way of returning it back to you. So I had to speak up. And she turned it off. This girl was so angry. She was bitter. She was bitter. And then she walked up to me. He said, in school, do you know what they call me? They call me Little Witch. I didn't say anything. I kept her quiet. I said, but why would they be calling you such name? He said, they know her now, that she does not take nonsense. Then she left again. She was bitter. Bitter. I didn't know she was bitter. It was when she now came back the second time, I knew that she was bitter. That I shouted at the boy. She now told me, actually, she want to tell me the truth. They don't call her Little Witch. That they call her Wicked Witch. That nobody crosses her path because she does not spare nobody. That was when I knew she was angry that I stopped her from talking to that boy. Oh, did she deal with me? Oh, yes, she did. She dealt with me. She dealt with me so many times. She came to fight me so many times spiritually with her mother. But the day they put the microchip was the worst. We'll get to that part. Because some spiritual encounter I will mention here, some I won't. They will be in my book. And it will be for only Christians. If you buy my book, you see it there. All the stories I'm telling, you also see it written out in book. How I ended up with Microchip in British Columbia, Canada. Because why? I want to tell my whole story for the whole world to hear. So I stayed in Richmond House in Richmond, 12040 Horseshoe Way. I met a Nigerian called Yemi. I think I did mention this side already. Yemi introduced me to Pastor Bamidele and Pastor Shola Elizabeth Dare. They have Redeemed Christian Church of God, because I told her every time I'm out of Nigeria, I attend the Redeem. They said I should join this people. Their branch is in Richmond. Pastor Bamidele started coming with the wife to pick me to go to church. You see how I stress this matter? Because they later told immigration that they don't know who I am. That their goddaughter, Blessing, is now Dumebi Mary and Timmy. Because then they have stolen my identity for the stupid harlots. You're going to know why I also call her a lot when the time comes. Like mother, like daughter. Yeah, like mother, like daughter. Pastor Bamidele, them lied. But I didn't say anything. I just gave immigration the proof I needed, but it has not gotten to that. While I was in British Columbia, in the shelter, I will always pray to God because He's the author and the finisher of my faith. The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. The Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the ending. The God that has no end. Omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient God. My Father. Heaven is His throne and earth is His footstool. I worship you, King of Kings. May your name be highly exalted. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ. I wanted to mention about my God, my Creator, my Father Himself. Because why? I just gave 2 examples where witches are coming to boast with their witchcraft, threatening me. Tell me, why won't I boast with my God? If you're boasting with your witchcraft. Anyway, I stayed there. I started going to church with these people. And God kept on warning me about them, but I never took it seriously. I will always call a friend, I'm not going to mention his name, in the US. I will call his friend. I said, this is what God is telling me about. I never tell him I hear from God. I never tell him that God tells me things. But when he came to these people, because the revelation was too much, I had to tell him a little bit. I told him, I said, I don't know why. I keep hearing warnings about these people from God. I don't know why. The day they even invited me to their house, I called him on the phone. I said, since these people invited me, God has been warning me. And since morning, the warning has been too much. I was excited to go to see their place. But I told him, I said, I will be very careful. Because if God has warned me this much, there is something that I am not cooling down to find out. I said, but I will be very careful. So I still went to the Pastor Bamidele's house and came back. But anyway, my caseworker then was Dean Logan. And Yemisi works in the same shelter, who introduced me to Bamidele and the wife. I will let you know in the future why I mentioned this, stress these 2 names. So one of the days, Dean Logan always started bringing, not always, but at first it wasn't so, but at some point he started bringing his daughter to the shelter. The daughter will come, beautiful girl, well-shaped, actually over well-shaped. Some of the girls in the shelter will be looking at her behind especially. Front and back, God bless the girl. It's just that she's not too tall. So the girl will come to the shelter. One day he started telling me, oh, my daughter loves you a lot. Every woman I've dated, he has never liked anyone. But for a strange reason, I told him, I introduced you to her. She said, oh, Daddy, if you want to marry this one, you have my blessing. I said, well, I was single. He wasn't such a bad man. He wasn't actually physically a bad man. So I decided, you see my mouth is bending to one side? Yes, it's what Bamidele them did to me. So I'm trying to return it to this side. We'll get to that. So I decided, I told my mom, I said, this is what somebody's telling me. I said, pray about it and let me know. And pray about this, my friend in the US. My mother prayed and told me, oh, that doing Logan is okay, but my friend in US, no. I said, I didn't say anything. But that night, I had a dream. After the dream, I knew that Dean Logan is a no answer. So I cut him off. I decided to stay far away from him. Because no matter anything anybody tells me that any pastor see vision or do this or do that, I always wait for what God has to tell me. Because anything that God tells me is final. And whatsoever God tells me is what I will work with. Please like and share my video. I want my video to go viral because there's a lot of story coming up. And see you soon.